Good evening, folks, and welcome. And what we've got for you tonight, I'm going to give this a bit of an assessment and see where we're up to, see what we need to get for it. This belongs to Andy from Blackpool, and this is his. I think they call this a cathedral radio. It's a Philips radio, and it dates. I think it's a wartime radio, but I'm not sure. Not sure. I think that's what Andy said it was. So if I put my glasses on, I know it weighs a bit. Get my glasses out of my pocket. Put my glasses on, and we've got great big Mullard valves in it. It's a great big canned smoother there, that's what that looks like. And there's a rectifier there which looks fairly modern. That looks like a replacement rectifier. And we've got a power lead here. We've got aerial 1 and 2. We've got a pickup, we've got a socket here for a pickup, I think. And this is external speaker. That thing there is external speaker. And I've not removed the back off this yet. Made by Philips Radio. We are going to have to go into it because there's no way. It's AC/DC. Oh, hang on, no it's not. Made in England Philips type. I need to see what type it is because I'm going to more than likely need the manual. Try not hit that camera. It's an 880A, so it's 232 or 245 volts. It's got a yeah, this is a big radio. It's a heavy one as well. This is a heavy radio. So we've got external speaker socket there, which if you wanted to put you'd unplug that and put your external speaker in. That's what you would do with that. Then you've got your pickup, but it doesn't have anything for a pickup, any switch. Unless that's it, but I don't know. But what we're going to do first, we're going to look. Hello Andy Mouse. Glad you could join me. Let's have a look at the power lead. What I'm going to do, I'm going to variac this. I don't usually do that. We'll have a look inside the plug. We will have a squiz inside the plug, and then what we'll do, we'll variac it and see what happens. Three-amp fuse, and it's got a new lead put on that because it's blue and black, the power lead. So somebody's worked on this, and I think it's got a 3-amp fuse in it. So what we'll do, because we're not going to take it apart tonight, what we'll do, we'll turn it back round. I think it's AM only, this. because there's no band switch on it. It's got a couple of scratches on it. It has got a couple of scratches on it. Andy came today, picked his radiogram up, he was happy with it. Turn this variac down. Let's plug the variac in, and what we'll do, we'll just see what happens with this thing. See if that rectifier valve starts to warm up. I'm not going to put my fingers anywhere in this because it could be live chassis. It's got a pickup socket on it, so and that tuner seems to be nice and free. I can't see whether that valve's lighting up. I don't think Andy plugged this in. We're not getting much. I'm trying to look see if there's a dial lamp in there. I can't see one. Oh yeah, there is. There's a dial lamp in there. Yeah. Right. Get something to use as an aerial. Just shove a capacitor level lead in the back. Right. Nothing there. There we go, turn it up a bit. Would have been. Is that valve warm? That's stone cold. They all are. So the recce could be knackered. Yeah, that's not lighting. Seems all we've got is the dial lamp. Yeah, that rectifier's not lighting. Yeah. I think by there we would have. Nothing. Nothing. Let's just pull that plug out. That rectifier's stone cold. So what we'll do, move this capacitor tester, we don't need that there for a minute. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the rectifier and switch it back on with the rectifier missing. Well, that didn't take much pulling. Because I want to see if the valves are in series. Whether it's series or parallel. So I'll plug it back in with that valve out. Yeah, they're in parallel because the dial lamp's come on. Must be. Anyway. Let's turn that variac off. Right. Good evening, Mike. And put that valve there for a minute. And what we'll do, we'll have a look. We'll now pull the back off. Nice thing about this is you can take the back off, you can take the valves out with the back on. Get that washer off there so it don't get lost. Them screws there. There we go. The screws all round it really. I mean, nowadays this would be an health and safety nightmare, wouldn't it really? We'll see what we'll do. We'll look up the manual in a minute. I know this is going to get Steve's juices flowing. That's for sure. He's going to enjoy this. It's superinductance, it says there. This would have been, I don't know, this would have been a fairly expensive radio, I think. Back in the day. But then again, that being said, it'd be a quality radio. There is a screw at the bottom there. But that being said, it would have been a quality radio as well. But someone's had this plugged in recently because it's got a 3 amp fuse in the plug. Take the back off. Put the back over there out of the way. There we go. Now we can see. Right, got a capacitor can there. We'll try and leave that in. Oh, hang on. I know what the problem is. Just spot it with a valve missing. This is not the rectifier. This is an NR43, which is audio output. The rectifier is over that back there, I think. Yeah. So this is the audio output. There's a valve missing. Better ring Andy and tell him there's a valve missing. I need to look at the circuit. Let's get my bloody phone, I can't see there. I need to turn the torch on. Yeah, we've got a valve missing. So it's goes in that way. There we go. Yeah, we've got a valve missing at the back there. And I don't know. And it's wore off what it says. So I don't know what it says, so yeah, but we've got a valve missing, which I think is the rectifier. So what we're gonna do, we're not going to phone Andy yet because he'll be on his way home, because he's only been left about an hour. So that's why we got nothing, because the rectifier's missing. So that explains that one, doesn't it, folks? So basically somebody's had the rectifier, because I'm sure that's audio output. So what we'll do, this has got metal trim here. This is metal, and then like an hardboard base, an hardboard cabinet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look in the, just see what it is, double check. An 880A Philips. So let's see if we've actually got the service data. 880. See if we've got the service data for this radio. I'll just close this software for a minute. I will open my service data. I'll go to Philips. So we're looking at a valve. Before we can do anything, we've got to replace that. Where's Philips? There's Philips 880A. hope it's in here. 880. We're looking down here now, folks, for the. Oh, we're down. There we are. 850. 805 even. 830. Is that it there, or is that an 890? It's hard to read some of these. Well, that's the schematic. Circuit only. That's the circuit only. I think that's an 890A. Let me double check what this thing is. Sure, it says it's an 880. Actually, it's an 830. It's an 830A, and I've seen that, so I know I've got it. So let's go back. Get rid of that. That's the wrong one. Yeah, it's an 830. I thought it was an 880. It's an 830. $825. $830A. That's the one. And there we go, 830A. It's an AC receiver, which means it should have a transformer in it. Superinductance AC receiver. Now let's see what the valves are. Just zoom in a bit. My eyes are playing up a bit today, folks. There we go. See what we've. I'll print the manual out to do so I can have it at the side of me. Superinductance. We need to see what the valves are. Two dual action controls perform the four functions of tuning, volume, waveband, and on-off. So the set is a 4-valve plus rectifier, 2-band TRF receiver. I said TRF, didn't I? I think I mentioned that. When I looked in it, I think I said it could be a TRF. Or did I think it? Whatever, doesn't matter. There's the scale lamp, the valves. It's a rectifier that's missing. Valve 1, I don't know what. There's our let's find our power supply. That's the other end. We want to be at the other end. That's the aerial. We want to be at this end, which is AC mains. Yeah, we have a transformer in here, valve 5. Valve 5 is the one that's missing, which is a rectifier. Right, so we need to find out what number the valve is. got that big can there with all them capacitors in it. That's got from C7 to C17 in it. So let's find out what our valves are. It should tell us in here somewhere. We'll go right down to the bottom. What we'll do, we'll zoom out a little bit. We're a bit big there. We'll zoom out a little bit. There we go. Here we are. Valve 5. 1821. Which is your rectifier. Valve 4 is PM24A. Valve 3 is 244V. Valve 2 is S4VB and S4VB for valve 1. So valve 5 is the 1821. So let's have a look. Let's go to the Valve Museum. 1821. 1 8 2 1 valve. (1821) radio valve, there we go. Okay, now. (1821), it's 129 quid used. Ooh, let's go to the Valve Museum. Because we might be able to find an equivalent. R8 RGN. Yeah, just make sure this is our rectifier. I think it is. It doesn't say this is the Radio Museum, but it should tell you. Used in models. Yeah, it tells you what it's used in. Collection of Howard Craven. I've come across him. Nice fella. But it's a rectifier anyway, that's for sure. I'd much prefer to look at the Valve Museum, but it didn't show me. Well, doesn't matter, whatever it is, it's missing anyway. I mean, that is your, or is that your audio output? Have I got it wrong? Someone's going to tell me, aren't they? That's the Radio Museum. I want the Valve Museum. It could be the audio valve. But looking at where it's placed in the circuit, I'm just trying to find out. I might have to ring the Oracle and ask him So let's go back to the circuit. Let's go back to the circuit. Valve 5. Yeah, it is, it's a rectifier. Yeah, let's go to this, come all the way up here, let's go back down. Let's go to the circuit. See, it doesn't tell you on there what the valves are. On the plan view of the chassis position of the large condenser, they called them a condenser back then. There's not a lot in this, it's a TRF set after all. Right, so valve 5. Right. AC mains in. Yeah, valve 5. Valve 5 is your rectifier. So I'm right, it is a rectifier. Let's see if I can get hold of old Andy and give him a ring and be the bearer of bad news. Just have a quick look at the chat. It's a nice one, isn't it, Mike? No, the valves are not glowing, Andy Mouse. They won't because the rectifier, I couldn't tell. They won't because the rectifier's not in there. Well, they should still light up, but I couldn't see them lit up. But the rectifier's missing, so. It's a nice radio. Oh, it would have been a nice radio to have in its day, Mike, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure, that Andy Mouse it would have been. Yeah, the Pride, yeah. Yeah, no rec, no DC, that's absolutely right, Mike. But I didn't know that till I took the back off because you couldn't see that far in. So I couldn't see that there was a valve missing because it was dark in there till I took the back off. So I only noticed that when I took the back off. I thought the valve at the front there was the recce, but it's not. The valve that's missing, valve 5, is the rectifier. Yeah, maybe, but I'll have to run that by Andy first, because at the end of the day it's his radio and Andy's not worried about spending to have it right, so he doesn't mind paying to have it right. You know, so if a valve has to be ordered, he'll buy the valve. I know that. I know that because I know him, so you know he'll yeah. Yeah, he'll yeah, he'll what do you call it? Hang on. Yeah, just have a look at this. Yeah, that camera froze again, and it's this only one on this time. So yeah, I was just looking at that camera. It's that USB lead, because that camera froze again, and so it's not the webcam that's doing it. The camera froze, so it's that USB lead. So I'm gonna have to get a USB lead. It's either got dirt in the USB lead. I'm gonna try and clean it. And that's all I can think it can be. But you know, if we go, you know, there's no point in going on to the other camera because we won't really see much. I'll just give you a quick flash. There we go, there's the other camera. You can just see the front of the radio. Let's go back to the main camera, there we go. But it's a big radio. I mean, the other camera will come into its own when I take the radio out of the chassis. It's nice and easy to do because the speaker's plugged in, so we just unplug that. But I'm going to have to give Andy a ring and unfortunately be the bearer of bad news. So really folks, there's nothing else I can do here until we get the valve solution. I don't think any of the radios that are knocking about here use the same valve. I will look at the equivalents because to get it going I can pinch, if some of these radios here do, then I can pinch the valve out of one of these other radios. But I'll need to work on that capacitor box, and yes, it's going to be some work, isn't it? But I need to try and make a list before Sunday to pick up what it needs from Goldborn. So if that camera froze, did the mic freeze as well? I don't know. Have I been getting no audio for ages? Yeah, I could make a rectifier with a diode. I could do that, but I don't want to do that because I'm pretty sure Andy wants it right. He wants it original. As you know, he wants it. You know, if there's 5 valves in there, he wants 5 valves. I know how Andy thinks, and I know what he likes. He likes it right, so I'm gonna have to speak to him. Oh yeah, I could do that for testing. Yeah, I could do that for testing, Andy Mouse. Yeah, doing it for testing is not a great problem, but you know, I don't know where the mains transformer is. There's a great big transformer at the back there. What I'll do, I'll give you all a look in the back. I'll turn it round and I'll give you all a look if I can. We'll see what we look like in the back. I mean, this is a bloody heavy radio as well. This is no lightweight. There we go. There we are. I'll tell you what, this is going to be getting love letters off Steve. Yeah, it's a lovely looking radio, to be honest. It is nice, and you know, and the valve that's missing is just over the back there. You can't see it. Even shining the torch on it, you can't see it. But there's a hole there where a valve should be. So, you know, I'll see if I can move the radio a bit further up, and I can, there we go, see if I can zoom in on the chassis. There we go, give you a good look at the top of it. There we are. You know, it's all nice inside. I mean, it's clean, and it's just got that empty space where a valve should go. Yeah, I know, Mike. I know, mate. I've not seen the £40 one, but I did see one for 100 and something quid used. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna order nothing from eBay. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna speak to Andy, and I'm gonna I'll make a note of the number and I'll take it to Goldborn with me. The number, that is, not the radio. And we'll see if we can get the valve from Goldborn and see if it's any cheaper there. They usually are. And we'll see if we can you know, but I just hope the rest of the valves are okay in it. But we'll soon find that out. We won't know that till we put the rectifier in. So, you know, there's not really a lot I can do at the moment. It's, you know, it's a case of put it to one side. Put it to one side and give Andy a ring, and which I'm going to do in a few minutes, and speak to Andy about it. Yeah, you know, I'm going to end it here, folks. The reason why is because, you know, there's no point pissing up the rope, as they say. I mean, I've not got a valve that will work, as far as I know. I could go through all these radios, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing here that I can use. And, you know, we'll see how we go, I think. Right. It's been a bit of a short one tonight, folks. Oh, it does look super, doesn't it? It looks super clean, doesn't it, Mike? You know, it does. It looks. I mean, it looks the dog's nuts, doesn't it? You know, the mutt's nuts. Looks really, really clean, and you know, I'm wondering, has somebody been in there? I'll find out when I take the chassis out and examine it. But look at that big IF transformer on the top there. That is huge. Yeah, good night, Andy Mouse, and good night, Mike. I'm gonna come off here and I'm gonna give Andy a ring and let him know, you know, I'll be the bearer of bad news.